Hello and welcome back. This is Everything Guitar, and if this is the first time you are watching one of our videos, then it's fantastic to have you here. Today we're going to be looking at the Beatles albums, and I'm going to be trying to work out which is their best album, and hopefully reach a sensible conclusion. So let's get started. This is Everything Guitar. Hello everyone. So as you know, we're going to be looking at the Beatles albums. Beatles for Sale follows that same format of the first two albums, Please Please Me and With the Beatles. This mixture of original songs and then a few arrangements. And it's a very effective album to listen to, and it's got some great music on it, and I think John's songwriting is really starting to become, very interesting. And you have Help, where essentially it's part of a film soundtrack, and you've got this amazing exclamation at the start, help. Really it's another one of those tricks to grab your attention, to really spell out what the song is about and what the film is about, and it's like, giving you the message of the album, really, ingraining it in your memory. And this is the album where, of course, Paul McCartney appears with Yesterday, and it's like woof, out of the blue, this like a jazz sequence. The chord sequence is very clever, and from a musical perspective, the sequence that he's written is perfect. It's perfect music. You'll find very few sophisticated musicians who would ever reject that harmony and that melody line and those chords that go with the song. You'll find very few people that will criticise it. And the other thing there for Yesterday in particular is this string arrangement by George Martin. Now in Rubber Soul, you have George Martin playing the piano on In My Life. The fantastic thing about that piano work in My Life is that it's kind of a throwback to the Baroque era, and think of Bach and Vivaldi and that time. Now, Bach used to write these fantastic, and I'm talking about Johann Sebastian Bach, and he had these pieces called two-part inventions. Two voices, and they would both move in opposite directions and complement each other, and sometimes go with each other and sometimes oppose each other. And that's what you get in My Life. Now, it's kind of like, it appears out of the blue. It's suddenly this effect in the middle of a song. It's like postmodernism. It's like a really early key little trick that the Beatles started to use much more frequently on the following albums. So anyway, you have this amazing invention on Rubber Soul. You have some very fantastic little tricks in Help and some great songs. And in Beatles for Sale, you have the old original formula of covers and originals. To my mind, Beatles for Sale is the weaker of this set of three. Now, in my opinion, Rubber Soul has a very collective sound. It's a much more modern, it's an almost American sound. It's a very compressed sound. They're trying to present their music, in a forward-thinking way. They're trying to make it sound more modern and more alive. Help doesn't have quite that kind of sound. It's more British, and I think Rubber Soul sounds slightly more American in a way. Which, of course, the music that the Beatles loved, was American in many ways. And you have Ringo singing Act Naturally. Obviously the personality of Ringo is really so important in the band, and he gets overlooked so often, but he was such an important factor. So I think Help and Rubber Soul they're very different, and I would find it hard to split the two. So I'm putting forwards help and rubber sole jointly, and I'm going to put off making that decision until later, as Beatles for Sale is going to get relegated into the seconds pile. So there you go. That's my 3 from this era.
And if you want to see more performance-based content from me, then head over to my main performance channel, the Dale Harris Guitar channel, and it's in the card right now in the right hand corner. So if this video has helped you, then why not subscribe, and why not check out some of our other videos, and there are 2 here to check out for you now. And remember, don't just watch, play. All the best. Hasta luego.